Hello everyone, welcome back to Him Tutorials. In this session, we are going to discuss chapter number 14, that is multiplication in plants, and in this chapter, the topic reproduction we are going to do. Up to the end of this session, you will be able to learn about the asexual reproduction and vegetative propagation by natural process. So let's begin with the introduction part first. Reproduction is very important life process of an organism because with the help of reproduction, the organism will give rise to its own kind, and it is the important characteristic for the continuation of life on the earth. As reproduction is of two types, mainly asexual, sexual. But as we are discussing in case of plants, so in case of plants one more is added, that is vegetative reproduction. In this session we will discuss first about the asexual reproduction. Under the asexual reproduction can be carried out by four processes. First is budding. In budding, we will take the example of yeast, as in case of asexual reproduction, we know that only one organism is required. So from one organism, when it fully develops, it will give rise to new small buds, and those buds get detached from the body of an parent and give rise to a new organism. As if this is the body of yeast, when the body of yeast grows full, then it will lead to develop buds on it, and these buds, when they fully grown, they detach themselves from the parent plant and they will start growing into a new individual. And later, when this bud also grows to full as a parent, it will also develop new bud on its body. So this is the first type of asexual reproduction, which is budding. The second type of asexual reproduction is fission. Fission word means to divide. So in this asexual reproduction, the organisms divide into two or more than two new individuals. If they divide into two, then it is called as binary fission. And if they divide more than two, new individuals, then it is called as multiple fission. In this we will discuss the example of bacteria. If we look upon the structure of a bacteria, as this is the structure of bacteria, so when the bacteria is fully grown, then after some time a constriction is formed in the body of a bacteria, and later this constriction deepens and it will give rise to two new daughter bacteria. So like this, the fission takes place. Now the third process is fragmentation. This type of asexual reproduction can be easily seen in case of algae. So if we take an example of Spirogyra, it has got filamentous body, means there is a large filament, and this filament has got this type of constrictions. So what happens when this filament is fully grown, then from any part this filament breaks up, and the part from where it breaks up, it will lead to develop new fragments from that part. So like this, the fragmentation takes place. Now the fourth process in case of asexual reproduction, that is spore formation. It is mainly seen in fungi and bacteria, as in case of spore formation. So there is production of sporangium, and inside the sporangium spores are present. These spores are light in weight and they can travel easily along with the wind. And wheresoever they got the chance to grow, they simply fix themselves, have favorable conditions, and they develop themselves into a full colony, which is called as mold. So if I talk about the example, then rhizopus, which is called as bread mold, is very good example. And if you see this mold, so it has got colony of small structures, like this type of swollen structures are there, and these are connected with each other with the help of rhizoids. These are the rhizoids which help them to fix on the bread, and these are the stolons which lead to further growth of the mold. This swollen structure is sporangium, and inside the sporangium small round structures are present which are called as spores. When the spores are fully grown, the sporangium rupture and the spores will be just come out of the sporangium, and the spores are enclosed in a very tough covering, hard covering, which is called as cyst. So wheresoever the spore travels along with the cyst, at that place where the favorable conditions are got by the spore, the cyst ruptures out, and the spore will start growing. So this is all about the asexual reproduction. Now let's discuss about the second type of reproduction, that is vegetative propagation carried by the plants. Vegetative propagation or vegetative reproduction is also a kind of asexual reproduction. But mainly as it is exhibited by the plants, so other than the sexual part of the plant, means other than the flower, like roots, stem, leaves, buds, they help in growth of the new plant. Vegetative propagation gives rise to a new plant. That plant is the exact copy of the parent plant. As it is the exact copy of a parent plant, so that is why it is also called as clone. Clone of parent plant. As exact copy. Vegetative propagation can also be divided into two types: natural vegetative propagation and artificial vegetative propagation. Under the natural vegetative propagation, roots help in vegetative propagation, underground roots. Second is by underground stem. And in underground stem, different processes are there: by tuber, by rhizome, by corm, by subaerial stem, and the third one is by leaves, or you can say adventitious buds present on the leaves. In case of artificial vegetative propagation, four types of processes are there. That is by cutting, layering, grafting, and last one is the tissue culture.